Here we've got some job applications, so I'm going to pick this one for a graduate analyst role with TPP. So we can just click on this and start the interview practice like so. Hi.
Hello, Joshua. Thank you for joining the interview today. I'm excited to learn more about you. Let's dive right in. To start, can you tell me a bit about your educational background and why you are interested in the graduate analyst role at TPP?
Yeah, so I have a degree in law from the University of Leeds, and I'm interested in the graduate analyst role at TPP because I believe I have a knack for analysing facts and figures and coming up with really good strategies based on my analysis.
Thank you for sharing that, Joshua. Your background in law is quite interesting and could bring a unique perspective to the analyst role. At TPP, one of our main goals is to improve access to healthcare data. Can you talk about a time when you had to analyze complex data or information and how you approached deriving a solution or strategy from that analysis?
So, one time at university, we were in a group project where we had to sort through lots of data about some claimants in a class action lawsuit, and we had to figure out um, the commonality between all the different claimants to try and create a cohesive claim. And what we did is we split all of the data into smaller groups of data, and then we summarized that, and then we took the summaries, and then we compared those, and then we tried to find the kind of commonality between the claimants to see if there was a common kind of causation for the claim between all the different clients. And by splitting it into smaller pieces and then putting it back together again, we were able to take loads of data from loads of different people and turn it into one unit of data that was easy to understand and for us to write our argument from.
That sounds like a thorough and effective approach to dealing with complex data. At TPP, projects can vary greatly, and your ability to break down and analyze information will certainly be valuable. Collaboration is also a big part of the role, as you will be working with software developers and other teams. Can you share an experience where you successfully collaborated with others to achieve a common goal? What role did you play in that collaboration?
So at university, I was part of a newspaper society, and we were developing an app. So we had to figure out how we could communicate all of the information that we wanted to communicate effectively through the app. And there was all sorts of different stakeholders involved. So uh, there was all the members of the society for the newspaper at the university, and there was also members from other societies who were helping us to build the app. For example, the Computer Science Society with the software developers. So what we did is we split out roles and we delegated. So we had some people on the design team, some people on a copywriting team, and some people on a like product management team. And then after splitting across all the different tasks, we came up with a way where we could all collaborate and work hard on our own little sections and then kind of bring them back together. And um, by splitting up our tasks and communicating how this was all going to work at the outset, we were able to kind of focus on our own little bits and collaborate without uh, all working on the same thing. And we were able to achieve a really good app which went out and was really popular. I personally was a product manager, and I managed the product team on uh, the login flows and the subscription flows for the app.
That experience sounds like a great example of effective collaboration and project management, both of which are vital for the analyst role.
So you can see it's actually able to ask us kind of star questions. If you're not familiar with that, that's situation, task, analysis, result. And basically, this is a kind of behavioral question you'll often get in interviews, and these are really hard to practice for. So I might have babbled on a little bit there because I'm not prepped for this role or any of that. But by me having that question given to me now, I can look through his transcript after the interview is complete, and I know I should probably think of an answer to that kind of style question. And we can actually go and do that in the application area. What you can do is you can go and click on interview prep, and this is going to predict lots of questions, and it's also going to give you answers based on your resume. So you can practice those and memorize those. You can go and do more interview prep. So this is customized to the application. So what it's going to do is it's going to take, so for example, I've got consulting graduate analyst role here. It's going to take the company description and the job description, and it's going to highlight the points that I need to demonstrate, and it's going to use those in the interview and ask you questions about that. So this is a really effective way of you practicing for your interview. Right now we're offering 30 minutes each month free on the free tier. So that's more than enough time to practice an interview quite thoroughly. You can split that into intervals, so you could do like 6 sets of 5 minutes, or if you wanted to do one long interview, then you could do one 30-minute interview, two 15-minute interviews. And then if you upgrade, you can actually get hours or unlimited amount of interview time. So you can just keep preparing. And then when it comes to interview, it'll just roll off the tongue. So let me show you another one. I'll show you how this links back to this job description. So you can see it's got lots of stuff about office skills here. All sorts of different things they're looking for. So let's see if it asks me anything about my office skills. Microsoft Office, that is. Hello.
Hello, Joshua. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm excited to discuss the consulting analyst position within the transportation industries at Cognizant. To start, could you tell me about your interest in the transportation and logistics domain and what motivates you to pursue a career in this industry?
I'm interested in transportation and logistics, and I always have been since being a little kid. I think it's really interesting to see how things can move across massive landscapes and across huge geographies in a short amount of time. So it's always fascinated me how we're able to get all these exotic fruits and vegetables in our local shops and still have them fresh. And that's something that's always interested me. And as I got older, I started reading the news and kind of understanding more about how the transportation industry affects our daily lives.
That's great to hear, Joshua. I'm still great to hear, Joshua. Your enthusiasm for the transportation and logistics domain is evident, and it's wonderful that you've been passionate about it since a young age. I'm curious to know, could you give an example of a transportation industry trend or challenge that you've come across in your reading or studies that you find particularly interesting or impactful?
Yeah, so recently in the news, I've heard a lot about how the Ukraine has typically been considered the breadbasket of Europe because of all their wheat produce, and in recent times, it's become much more difficult for Ukraine to produce that wheat and then get it transported out of the country, and this kind of logistics challenge has impacted the bread prices and the because of the wheat prices elsewhere in Europe. So the disruption of transportation routes in one country quite far away has had a knock-on effect on something as everyday to us in Britain as bread, and that's really interesting.
That's a very insightful observation, Joshua. It's indeed fascinating how transportation challenges in one region can have far reaching effects. This highlights the importance of efficient logistics and the interconnectedness of global trade. Moving on, I'd like to understand your analytical skills a bit more. Could you describe a situation where you had to analyze data or conduct research to come up with a meaningful insight or recommendation?
Okay, we didn't quite get to the word and office stuff, but you can see these are all really relevant questions. Questions that are quite tricky if you're not prepared for. So just having this practice is super helpful. I hadn't even really thoroughly read this job description before I started. And if I'd gone into that interview, I might have really struggled. So having the opportunity to go through it now and practice with this AI where there's zero stakes is super helpful. And hopefully you'll find it helpful too. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions in the comments. And yeah, try it out. It's available now on JobBuddyTech.com. And you can get it free. We've got 30 minutes interview AI practice free each month. And for the premium tiers, it's unlimited. So that's going to be a temporary offer for the next few months. If you want to try it out, try it out. It's cheaper than OpenAI. You're not going to get it any cheaper. And I think it's a really powerful tool. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I hope you like it.